everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share my experience when I had a nurse externship interview, and also I had a nurse residency program interview. So let's get started. Hi. Before I share that experience, let me introduce myself. My name is Anna and I'm still in nursing school. It's my last semester. I'm graduating next month, which is on July. And I already had an interview on March. I got an offer from ED, Emergency Department. I accepted that offer, so I'm planning to work on October. So I'm going to share my experience, what question did I get when I had an interview, and how I answered, and what to prepare before you go into the interview. So let's get started. First question that I got was, why did you choose this hospital? In order to answer that question, you gotta do some research about that hospital. The purpose of this question is they really want to see if you know that hospital or not. So what I did was I went to their website and I read all of their mission, values, and vision. So 3 things: mission, vision, and value. This is the hospital that I chose, and every hospital should have this bullet: mission, vision, and values. So make sure to read all of those before you go into the interview and show them that you have researched on them and you know what this hospital is aiming for and what their vision and value is. When I answered that question, I said exactly what their value is, and I said that value matches with my value. Therefore, it is the best place to start my career at, something like that. And second question that I got was, why did you want to be a nurse? Why did you want to be a nurse? Don't say something is in common, like I want to help more people. That's not so special. I will share how I answered this question based on my life experience, because for me there is specific reason that why I want to become a nurse. So I said my grandfather motivated me to become a nurse. He had early stroke symptoms when I was young. Either my grandfather or my family member didn't realize the early symptoms of the stroke, so he didn't go to the hospital right away. He missed the golden time. I believe that knowledge is the power and can change people's lives. If somebody brought him to the hospital within golden hour, he wouldn't have to suffer from the stroke symptoms for 19 years. Therefore, I decided to become a nurse to protect my family member and others. My case is specific, and I mentioned why I choose to become a nurse: to help people. I am pretty sure that most of you guys don't have that experience, right? So say something like, I chose this career because this is challenging and interesting and makes a big difference in people's lives today. Like in the nursing profession, you deal with many aspects of patient care. You just tell them that you enjoy the variety aspects in nursing career. The third question was, tell us about yourself. So basically, you just need to tell the work experience. Of course, you're in nursing school, so you have to have clinicals. So say the clinical experience that you had, which hospital you went, and what floor, what unit you're interested in. Even just tell them that you worked at a restaurant as a server and tell them that you learned time management skills and the customer service skills. Those are still needed in nursing career. So say that. Also, in that section, you can tell them your strengths and weaknesses. I wouldn't tell them the weaknesses unless they're asking. My answer for the strengths was, my strengths is empathy. Patients look to nurse as their advocates, so it is really important to understand the patient's situation. Being empathetic to the patient's hospital care can go a long way to improve the patient care. If your culture is different, mention culture awareness. That was one of my strengths, and I told them that I was raised by my mom, who was born in Russia, and my dad is Korean. So I am adaptable to understand people from other countries or backgrounds, especially difference in values and attitudes. Number 5, why did you choose this unit? I applied ICU floor and ED floor that time. So I'll share my answer. Here is my answer sheet, and I prepared 2 different answers for different units. First of all, for ICU interview, I told them that I chose to become an ICU nurse rely on my work experience. I like focused care, and one of the coolest things that I saw is that they do rounding and give report to the doctor. When they give a report to the doctor, they are very thorough, prepared for the questions that the doctor asks, confident and knowledgeable. ICU nurses are my role model. I always wanted to be like them in the future. That was my answer for that. Second answer for my ED interview was, I want to become an ER nurse based on my work experience. Patient comes in through emergency room, has variety of conditions and illnesses, which means every single day is learning opportunity. Working in the ED means spending less time behind a computer and more time on my feet taking care of patients. Show your passion, how badly you want to work at this unit. Number 6. What is the difficult position you have been in at work, and how did you handle it? That question is specifically asking if you can answer based on STAR technique. Let's talk about STAR technique. What is it? It is situation, task, action, and result. For situation, you have to describe the event or situation that you are in. Task, explain the task you had to complete. Action, you have to describe the specific actions you took to complete the task. For result, close with the result of your effort. So you have to answer based on that technique. I will share my answer. I will share my answer here as an example. So I said, I had a clinical at St. Joseph in pulmonary unit. I had a patient who had a chest tube, and the tube was dislodged from the container. The blood was everywhere on the floor, and the patient was anxious and called for help. Even though it was my first experience dealing with dislodged chest tube, I stayed calm. I tried to calm down the patient first by telling it could happen, and I soaked the end of the tube with distilled water to prevent pulmonary embolism. Patient appreciated that I came quick to help him, and he wrote thank you card for me that day. My answer is based on STAR technique. So my situation was, the chest tube was dislodged from the container. So for the task, I had to calm down the patient first. And for action, I soaked the chest tube into the distilled water to prevent pulmonary embolism. As a result, patient wrote me a thank you note at the end of the shift. So make your choices based on this technique. There is one important thing that you have to prepare before the interview, which is You have to prepare the question to ask at the end of the interview. Always, the interviewer asks you the question if you have any question for them. If you say, no, I don't have any question, that sounds like you're not interested in this job, or you look like less passionate about this job. Be prepared to ask that question. I will share my question here as well. So first, I asked, what are your expectations of new hire graduates? Number 2, when do I hear or when should I expect a decision? Number 3, what would be most challenging aspects of this job? They actually had to think in order to answer my question. That's the great question to ask. So that ends my video. Thanks for watching my video and I hope to see you again.